All right, guys, we are here today with Evelo Team to do first time home buyer seminar. So thanks for joining us. We'll give people a couple minutes to get logged on. All right, I think we are good to go. So guys, my name is Hannah Perky. I'm CEO of Evelo Team. I have two awesome agents joining me today, so I'm going to let them introduce themselves. So Lauren, can you tell us your full name and your role and history on the team?
Sure. My name is Lauren Bauer, and I am a realtor partner with the Evelo Team, and I've been here just about 2 years almost. And yeah, that's me.
Awesome. And Cole?
Yeah, I'm Cole Heberling. I'm a realtor partner as well, and I've been with Evelo Team for a year and some change, just a couple months.
Okay, awesome. So we just got out of our team retreat yesterday, which was super fun. We drank lots of coffee, ate Mexican, and planned for next year. And one of the big stats that I think stuck out to us as a team is the stats that are reported every year is that there's almost 50% of the home purchases are first-time home buyers. And for our team, we have a good group of younger agents, and we feel like there's just a huge opportunity for us to be educating our friends, family, network, etc., about how awesome it is to buy, what a benefit it can be for your family. So that's really what we want to talk about today is the steps it takes to purchase and really clarify some of those unknowns out there. So let's just start with this. So Cole, if someone's thinking about buying a home, where do they even start?
Yeah, so typically we just set up a buyer's consultation, time for us to get together and just kind of talk through what that process looks like, answer any questions that you may have or may have that you don't even know you have yet, because it is a long process. But in that time, we get to just kind of look or see what you're looking for, whether that's a specific number of beds, baths, location, all that stuff, and just get you a general idea of what the process is going to look like from start to finish, just so that way when we do start, moving forward, you have an understanding of what to expect and what to expect with timelines and how the offer is going to look, and what to expect with closing, how to work with your lender, all those things, kind of answer as many of those questions as we can.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And right now, Cole, what are the options? So are they coming to an office? Can you do virtual?
We can do whatever you'd like to do. We can meet at the office. We can meet for coffee at a Starbucks. You can hop on Zoom and we'll chat that way. Whatever works best for you, we're happy to accommodate you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So one of the questions I think people have, and I made the mistake myself when I was a first-time home buyer, I was connected with Derek, our owner, and I found a house I liked, probably on Zillow or something like that, and I just called the listing agent. So Lauren, why would it be beneficial to use Cole or yourself as the buyer agent versus a listing agent?
So when you do that, the listing agent is representing the seller. So they have the seller's best interest in mind, or should have the seller's best interest in mind. And so when you're calling them, they can give you information and they might offer to show you the home and, write up an offer for you. But it's good to just have your own agent so they know that your best interest is in mind. And so it's very important. So that's why, we do those buyer consults and we set up with what you want. So even if you do go to an open house or you go somewhere, on your own, that, you could always call us and we'll either go check it out again with you just to make sure everything looks okay and just to make sure that it's all squared away for you to make that offer.
Okay. And how much do you cost for me to use you as my buyer's agent?
We are free as a buyer's agent. So it's no cost to you. You just have someone representing you. So, why wouldn't you use the buyer's agent?
And that applies to new construction as well. So if you're thinking about new construction, before you go into that model home, let us do that buyer's consult, educate you on the process, and then be the advocate for you. It's a free service. So we were like, hey, why not have this representation? All right, so we do the buyer's consult, Cole, and then next is pre-approval. So talk to me about what that looks like to get pre-approved and why that matters in today's market to be pre-approved.
Yeah, so the process is actually, pretty easy. We've got some phenomenal lenders that we work with who just jump on the phone, have a conversation with them. They'll get some information from you just to kind of, let you know if they think you're going to qualify, what those next steps will be. And then they'll typically, after that phone call, send you an application that you can fill out completely online. They'll look through your information and they'll get you a pre-approval amount. So a lot of different reasons we want to have a pre-approval, especially in today's market. We do have some competitiveness in different price ranges. And so having that pre-approval lets the seller know, number one, that you have a strong offer that you're a serious buyer. But then number two, it also gives you an idea of what price point you should be looking at. That way we're not spending, time looking at houses that are 400, 500,000. You're getting your expectations set extremely high, and then you get pre-approved for 300. And now everything that you've seen, your expectations aren't going to match up with reality. And so it can be a frustrating process. We always like to start there just to make sure that, that process is smooth from the start.
Right. And I think sometimes people use online mortgage calculators, which are a fine estimate, but a lender is going to be able to say, hey, here's the monthly payment, here's insurance and taxes. Sometimes you guys know online leads might register and say, hey, I want a payment of $1,000. What price point can that get me at? And as realtors, we can't always, we can't even get close half the time, I would say, because there's so many factors that come into play. So Cole's right, talking to that lender is going to get you the idea of where you can purchase and make sure that you're looking at houses that you can get. We don't want you to see a house and fall in love with it and not be able to have it. All right, so we're pre-approved, and then we're going to start searching. So Lauren, talk to me about what's next.
Okay, so once we know what your budget is, which is one of the most important things, we will kind of we'll talk more about what you're looking for, which we would do in the buyer's consult, but we'll revisit it and talk about, do you want a ranch or a two-story? Do you want a condo? Beds, baths. And once we get all your criteria and your budget, we'll set you up on an online search. And so once homes hit the market that meet that criteria, they'll be automatically sent to you. Meanwhile, I'll be, me, Cole, whatever agent you're using, should be also looking at the listings daily, looking at for sale by owners, looking at all your options and sending you ones that we feel would suit your needs the best, and that would be good investment. So we'd go from there and send you those. And then once you see a home you like, we'd get out there right away in this market and show it to you and get you there ASAP and walk through it with you and talk about, things that we see wrong, things that, you have to be mindful of, and just seeing what you like about them. And then kind of narrowing down, after that first home, okay, we can really see what you like and don't like and go from there.
Right. Awesome. Some people like to go to open houses. I think that's a very common thing out in our market to see those signs. So Cole, if they hop over to an open house, then what if they like the house?
Call one of us. We're, like we said, we're there to represent your best interest. Open houses, I think if they're done right, are there to showcase the home in the best light possible. So taking another trip's always a good idea. Making sure that it's priced correctly. There's just a lot of things that we can do for you to make sure that we've already taken the time to sit down and make sure that we understand exactly what you're looking for. So take the extra time to make sure that this matches what you're looking for as well. Is it in the right area for you? Is it in, does it have all the items that you're looking for? Is it priced accordingly? All those things we can help you out with.
Absolutely. Right. All right. So Lauren, you've taken them out. You found the perfect house for the person. Talk to me about the process, like the offer and the steps. What else do we need to know to get to closing?
So, well, first off, before making the offer, we need to know how much interest there is so we can make the strongest offer possible. In this market, there is most likely going to be other buyers trying to put an offer. So it's our job to talk to the other agent and try and see, what would be the strongest offer, what is important to the seller, and trying to get you that house. So then once we do that, you'll need some, and you have an accepted offer, you'll need some money up front. So what you'll need is an earnest money deposit, which is usually about 1% of the purchase price. And that will be, you'll submit that within 48 to 72 hours, depending on what it says in the contract. And that will be taken out of your account right away. So it's not just like they'll hold the check, that money will be taken out and it will go towards your down payment or however you're working with your lender. And then, so that's money that you'll need right up front. And also we need to get the house inspected within usually about 2 weeks. So that is also another cost up front, which is, it could range from $300 to $500. It just depends on the size of the house and square footage and everything like that. So that's, the rough amount of money that you'll need up front. And then once we kind of have the earnest money, go through the inspection, that's kind of our first hurdle, just to make sure that there's nothing wrong with the home, that's seriously wrong with the home, major defect. And that's kind of another negotiation period. So we'd go back and forth on what we want fixed and what the sellers are willing to fix and, make it a win-win for everybody. And then another thing is the appraisal. The appraisal is through your lender and they will, send an appraiser out to appraise your home. So fingers crossed that it comes in and it appraises, but if it doesn't, that might be another hurdle. So once we kind of clear the inspection and clear the appraisal, then we're kind of good to go with the home. So just because you have an offer in place doesn't mean that things will go smoothly. It means that there's other steps, and then once we get through those steps, then you can kind of sigh relief and hope and keep fingers crossed that it gets to closing.
Right, absolutely. Cool. So thank you for explaining that. I think that's important to know, and we want to make sure you guys understand all the steps, and we would walk through that again in more detail during that buyer's consult. So Lauren mentioned that it's a super competitive market. So Cole, why would people still want to get out and buy right now?
Yeah, it is a competitive market. Maybe you're wanting to get out if you're like me and you need a home office. Let's change up the scenery a little bit. No, but in all seriousness, right now interest rates are still incredibly low. So it's still a phenomenal time to get pre-approved and start looking to see if you can find that right house. Yes, there is competition, but our team also has a really strong track record of getting houses or getting offers approved and accepted. So yeah, that, and then also a lot of people are renting currently, and Indiana is actually a state where usually it's actually cheaper to buy than it is to rent, just with the amount of payment you're making monthly.
Yeah.
And also you're building equity while you're doing it.
I know. So it's always an investment, right? So awesome. Well, I appreciate that. If you guys have other questions, you can send those over to us. Best email address is info@eveloteam.com, and you can call and reach these fine agents at 317-863-9011. You should always get an answer on that number, so call anytime. We hope that helps to lower the intimidation factor of buying a home. We want to help you guys create that investment no matter your age and stage. It's probably a lot more obtainable than you have thought about before. So reach out if you have questions, and thanks so much for joining us today. Have a great one.